just gotta know one thing. Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready?
Hello?
Hey Omega. I was just explaining to the guys in the stream, like, I'm going to be quiet for the first bit of the stream because family's watching a movie behind me. Because it's the
okay.
it's the summer holidays for the kids, so they get to stay up late and stuff.
My parents are buying a car, so I'm not home yet. A van.
They're buying you a car?
They're just buying a car.
Okay. Fair enough.
It was one of those things where it's like, we're going to look, but then they've been in there for like an hour now. I'm like, you guys are buying the car, aren't you?
Yeah. Like, we're just going to look. Look at all this paperwork we're having to fill out.
I'm just seeing this dude, like, just like look outside, like at the weather. I'm just like, I'm not seeing you enough times to know that they're in there buying the car.
Yep. The movie's nearly finished anyway. Listening to which part they're at. They are watching, for those that are interested, the original Charlie and the Chocolate.
What? People want me to unmute. I'm in, like, potato quality in my microphone. I'm not even sure if these headphones suck, guys. Like, only one of them works, and I'm not sure if the microphone is okay.
It's all good, man. Like, you're busy. It's fine.
I mean, it's not even. I thought I was going home, and then my parents were like, "Hey, let's go to the car dealership," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Sounds nice. Whoa. So, how's everybody doing? Hope everyone is good and well and all that stuff.
It's really not the same without Omega.
I know, right? Slacker, so slack. Never met anybody as slack
I
as
know.
Omega.
I know, going out with their parents rather than being here on stream.
I know. Who would do that, right? It's not a thing.
must be
That's
like
not a thing that we
Omega
do.
person.
Yeah.
That ex-VG member, ugh.
Yeah, I'm okay, White Pulse. Just a little bit drained, but I'll be okay. Trying to decide like whether I want to go like hardcore into his backpack at the moment. There's like so much that needs to be worked on.
What more do you have to do other than the high poly and low poly in that?
Like all of it.
Because to me there isn't too much more that should be done.
Well, like the whole backpack needs doing. Because at the moment it's
big
literally
would
just
that
like blocky cylinders and stuff. Like,
I mean, for me it just looks like massive hydrogen cans or something.
yeah, I can see that.
And to me that looks sorted as like a jetpack.
I mean, I probably could.
Yeah, just have the base and then just do the skins for him.
Yeah, fuck it, ship it like this, right?
Yeah, boys. Screw the colouring.
I mean, it is pretty important for me to make sure that the lockout is solid before I move too far away.
Just get a pint of beer or something down you.
I don't really drink beer.
Really, you seem like one of those guys.
No, I don't really drink beer. Occasionally I'll drink ale, but not really that often. And it's only
So
really
you want
when
it more
I'm
posh.
well, it's only really when I'm with people that really are into their ales, and they'll go to a place where they only really serve ale. So like I'll drink it then. But generally like Scotch. I like drinking Scotch, rum if I'm out like on a night out or something, or wine. I've started getting more into red wine, although like I've had a lot of bad experiences with wine.
What, red specifically, or?
So white wine always, like without fail, will give me a headache, a really bad headache. Red wine tends to get me like really drunk really fast.
Yeah, I was going to say that's normally what I hear. Red wine's a lot worse for getting you pissed.
Worse or better?
Depends how you see it.
That's the question, isn't it? Right? Is it really worse if it's doing the job?
Well, I mean, not if you want it, don't want it to. But you can't put down the bottle.
Alright, just making up this braid as I go along. Like, when it comes to actually making these braids, it's going to be a lot simpler. Like, I can make a braid shape and then just bend it to however I want. But for this, it's just, like, just want the representation. There's going to be some curly hair here, kind of thing. So, what, we got any questions? Nope, no questions. Probably for the best.
I mean, you normally answer them on other streams, so.
Isn't the community corner due soon?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of trying to sort it out
Okay.
at the moment.
What do you mean sort it out?
Because it's a bit hard because me and Sentinel were meant to be doing it, but because he's NA, he's and barely online, so
Okay.
I'm trying to do it and get out tomorrow, hopefully. That was a hopefully stream.
Merv looks great with like full-on English mustache.
Oh no, you got to do like the curls and everything. I like blueberry pancakey waffle. I thought that waffles cakes. Wakes. What? English.
English is a language, I suppose.
Yeah, and one of the two languages I speak.
Uh-huh.
The other being American.
So lesser English.
Yeah, pretty much.
Lower British is American.
Well, isn't it more like slang?
I mean, it kind of takes slang to a whole new level, really.
I mean, there's a lot of different ways of slang is actually made, because you don't have just like one standard slang. You've got like loads of different interpretations and whatever. Oh, the joys of A-level English.
Yeah, boy. You know
Know what?
what? Do you know what? No, you know what? None of us know
You
what.
do not know the way. Oh, please let it die. It's still weird seeing how many people you run into online just using that meme still.
Yeah. Oh man, Apo1984. Sorry man, I totally missed it earlier. Thank you for resubscribing for another month. That's 4 months in a row now, man. Awesome. You the man. If Omega was here, I'm sure he'd, like, say a thing.
Okay, I'm just gonna mute myself a second.
Go for it.
Make it on my own steam, but it won't be long. Once in a while we're allowed to dream that we're gonna make it through the night. We're gonna journey to the light. We're gonna make it through the night. Whoa. We're gonna make it through the dark. We're gonna find out who we are. We're gonna make it through the dark. No one can tell us who we are. Other way, 'cause we were made for this. You and me, we're gonna fly away. But we're gonna make it through the night. We're gonna journey to the light. We're gonna make it through the night. Whoa. We're gonna make it through the dark. We're gonna find out who we are. We're gonna make it through the dark. No one can tell us who we are. We're that only
I'm bored with nobody to talk to. I'm gonna go in the public chat channel. If anyone wants to join me, they can come join me. So there.
Wait. I just watched it on Raid.
Yeah. Just keep it civil, otherwise I'll have to jump back, you know? Like, them's the rules.
Yeah, of course.
Greetings, Ramanos.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's weird hearing everything twice now.
Yeah, I guess you can mute the stream now, I suppose.
I was gonna say mute the stream.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, where's everything all green? Oh yeah, everything's all green. Yes. Thanks 3DS Max. You are the best of software. The worst.
Usually I have like so many questions to ask, but then like nothing as soon as I get to the point to actually talk to someone, you know?
Yeah, man, you can ask whatever you want. Like, it doesn't even have to be related to like the project, to the model, like anything. Like, you can ask anything.
Even like, what you have for breakfast for this morning.
Yeah, let's start out with that. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
I woke up at like 2 in the afternoon, so I had lunch for breakfast.
I can relate to that, yeah.
Had like a big bowl of pasta for breakfast.
God. Yeah, I had to go out to Good Samaritans and drop off some stuff, and then I also had lunch because I just got back from our capital. Frickin' chat. So do you live in England then?
I do.
Alright, that's cool.
I see a Joe.
At one point it was probably called the United Kingdom, now it's just all kinds of fucked up kingdom.
Oh no.
Let's get political.
Yeah, right. No, I just had like a whole week of politics. And it's
Oh, really?
so boring.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, I went to this like youth leadership training conference and it was like centered around politics.
Okay.
And it was just a bunch of bickering the whole week. It was insane.
Yeah. I think that's mostly what politics is, right? Just bitching at each other until a decision is
Essentially,
made.
yeah. Yeah. We were supposed to propose a bill, and the bill for that we'd come up with was like, if you're a working minor, you wouldn't get state income taxes,
Okay.
and that would help like save money for college expenses and other expenses, because more and more minors, especially where I live at, are going to go live on their own and they have to support themselves now.
Right.
So how long do you think Mervin's going to take to turn to low poly?
A few more streams yet. Like I haven't really like finished the high poly yet. So now I'm moving on to the jetpack and doing a bit more like detailing because it was just like blocked out. So, I mean, it's still really cylinders, just like with a couple of intrusions and extrusions and stuff.
Hey, don't talk about it like that. That's like my job.
So right now I'm just working with a whole bunch of basic shapes.
Okay.
Hey,
You love me, man.
So as you're going through making the jetpack, is there like a reference picture that you have as you're working on it?
Kind of, but it's not really like it's like a really, really blurry picture from a game that we used to play, so
Oh, okay.
so there's a lot of kind of like make it up as I go that's happening.
Meekdor asked, will Mervon be constantly muttering under his breath after receiving damage and or before or after casting abilities?
Oh man, Mervon's gonna be incredibly vocal and incredibly salty. Like, if there were gonna be any master whose language would cause the T rating to be troublesome, I think this is probably the one.
Let's Goalie asked, who do you have won your team that handles the legal side of things?
We don't really we haven't really needed anyone to do any legal work at the moment. Like, as and when that situation arises, we'll probably just approach a lawyer or something. There are people on the team though that have like extensive legal connections.
So whenever you hire someone to work for you guys, do you send them out a contract or do you fax it to them or like what?
So we have basically like a we have like an agreement document that you sign that basically says like you're not gonna leak stuff, steal stuff, you know. Basically, it's basically a document saying don't be a dickhead. Because you know, at the moment this is still very much like a volunteer project, right? We can't and shouldn't force people to work on it or anything like that. So, you know, we have to be kind of a little bit more free form in like the legalities.
Yeah, that completely makes sense. I know a lot of my friends are like super excited for this game because they were all out for Paragon and they're like, this is gonna be the game that completely changes the MOBA scene, and it did by adding, you know, Z-axis.
Right. Yeah, but, that's what got. Well, I mean, like, I'd played a little bit of League, I'd played a little bit of Dota, not really that much. Like, I wouldn't consider myself good at either game, but I don't know, like, I just never really got on with them, and I think a big part of that is the Z-axis thing.
Yeah, Paragon was a game that was definitely not like any other MOBA. Especially in comparison to Smite, Smite is just so terrible.
Well, I haven't played it enough to be able to judge. And also, like, I know a lot of people that worked on it, so I can't really say anything anyway.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like
I mean,
this is a super small industry, man. Like there's nothing good can ever come of like bad talking another developer ever.
Yeah. It's like a good game in general, but like there's a lot of quirks to it.
Right. I think, like, from what I've seen of Smite, the thing that would throw me off the most is the fact that it's in 3D, but, like, but there is a lack of Z-axis, right? Like,
Yeah,
that
I
would,
get that.
I think that would frustrate me a lot.
It is, and it really does. I've got 300 hours on Smite, which compared to some people is negligible. But that it's a real like throw.
Yeah, especially if you're going from Paragon to Smite.
Yeah, I remember playing an MMO once where like you couldn't really jump. Like it just wasn't really a thing, and I was like, "Oh, this feels weird." It's like whenever if you could jump, it was like it was attached to a skill. It wasn't really like just a thing that you could do. What was it? I think it was Guild Wars. No, it wasn't Guild Wars. Because you can jump in Guild Wars. Don't know which one I'm talking about. I know that there was one though. I played it for like a week, largely because of that.
And you don't do much gaming because of the whole art thing, yeah?
I mean I do and I
Plays
don't.
Overwatch.
Like I play Overwatch quite a lot lately, but that's because my my oldest daughter plays it and she wanted someone to play with, so I was like, okay, well we can play that. My gaming experiences on like consoles and stuff is almost exclusively like narrative driven single player RPGs or Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
And honestly, like Joe's been playing this Octopath Traveler, and like everything that he said about it, everything everybody said about it makes me believe that the day I install that game is the day that like you guys just won't see me like ever again. There was another one as well. I mean, it's
Right now.
completely different type of game, but another game like that makes me think like I should not ever play this like even once. And it's Enter the Gungeon.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm pretty sure it's an amazing game, but that's why I shouldn't play it.
That's brilliant. You'd love it.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, Silver Shadow. I wasn't seeing what you were saying. I was in the middle of a match. Meek asks, what is Mervin's favorite drunk food?
Well, that's a good question, actually. I need to find Bun. Let me go and ask Bun.
Who's Bun?
Bun is someone that he's been in the stream a couple of times recently, but he was friends with like actual Merv with me. So let me go.
Oh, it's like Bun 02 or something like that.
Yeah.
Ah, no.
I don't like these. I'm gonna delete these. Delete. So, what do you do, dude?
Oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
Um, I still go to high school.
Okay.
I'm doing my last senior year, and then I work for the radio here
Oh, really? What, at school or, like, locally?
locally. I work for the radio, yeah.
Cool, man. That's pretty neat.
And then I'll be going out to California for college to get a joint major in mechanical and nuclear engineering with a minor in nuclear
Okay.
physics.
Wow.
I feel
Okay,
really
man.
dumb right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
no,
Super
I
dumb.
I feel
don't.
like holy
No,
shit.
please don't.
How do you think I feel? I work in a shop.
So,
No.
so Bun has just confirmed what I had already suspected, and it is Merv's favorite drunk food is a big dirty kebab.
Especially if he's Scottish.
Well, yeah, if you have the dirty in it, then it's got it.
Aye, pal.
No, hey, pal.
Alright, pal. Bad Mars bar, eh? That's a thing, man. That's a thing in Glasgow. Battered Mars bars.
I know. I've been talking to this one of my friends that lives in Glasgow because I want to learn to speak in a Glaswegian accent.
Why? Why would you ever want to learn to speak a Glaswegian accent?
Yeah, you
No.
never ever want to do that.
Glasgow is like Glasgow. Glasgow is like the redneck area of Scotland.
Oh, okay.
I have so many people that would stab you for saying that.
Dude,
Thus
yeah.
proving my point. just
Yeah.
saying. like, they can stab me if they want. All it's gonna do is make my point, you know.
She was like, yeah, Glaswegian's like the most stereotypical Scottish accent. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah. And then some.
So what do you guys do for your actual job?
Well, I work in the games industry.
Me
Alright.
too.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Joe's is a bit more impressive though. So
Yeah. Joe gets to
I was
make
expecting
some really impressive boxes.
Yeah, I know.
I
I
make
boxes.
best boxes. I work for Ubisoft on the Division 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And you can see his work in the announcement trailer for at E3. Them boxes. Oh,
Yeah,
such boxes.
I turn boxes into concrete.
The box
Boxes.
the boxiest boxes.
so wow.
I was like, yeah, man, make concrete.
Oh yeah, I remember I was watching someone who was doing a structure stream, and they were working on the tower, and you were in there, and you said you worked on boxes, and I was like, what does that even mean?
Because everything that I make starts out as a cube. Pretty much everything.
He doesn't know anything else. Just cubes.
Joe
Although, if you're
Joe like Joe doesn't think he's very good at what he does, but Joe is very good at what he does. And he has been
according
since
to
I met
me.
him, so
This is the most symmetrically cube ever.
cubes.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
So, are you gonna make all of Merv's technology like? Oh God, what's the word? I hate this.
Me too, man.
Oh man, what is the word?
Well,
I
if you
hate
don't know,
Merv so
I don't
much.
fucking know.
I guess his jetpack. Are you gonna make that technologically correct?
No.
No.
I could have answered that one.
There are a
Nope.
couple of reasons for this. First of all, I'm not a mechanical engineer and I don't know how the fuck it would even work. Second of all, Merv is a very special dwarf. he's a bit of a mad scientist kind of dwarf, and I think most other dwarves would probably be like, yeah, that thing he's wearing on his back. Like, no sane person would ever do that.
Okay. We got big boxes, small boxes, boxes with boxes.
Yeah. Big box, little box, lots of fish.
1 box, 2 box, red box, blue box. Bad Analysis asks, this hero is outside of the base 5 heroes, right?
Correct. Honestly, I was expecting more people to join this chat.
I know.
I guess people are all shy when it comes to actually being on a stream, right? Like,
Yeah, they're all vocal in the chat, but
Oh, are we in like a public channel? Oh.
yeah.
yeah. Because
Yeah, that's fine,
Omega's not here, and it was really, really quiet, and I was like, yeah, let's get some more people in.
Aww. Lee was
Bad
lonely.
Analysis
Lee was
also
lonely.
asks, does that mean y'all are done with the original 5 in terms of design?
The original, like, the artwork is still being worked on and everything. Yeah. Like, the base designs for them are largely in place, but it's just a case of, like, actually making them.
You crashing, Lee? Looks like you're crashing. Oh no, you didn't crash. Okay.
No.
I just saw the permanently spinning blue ring, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's because Max has autosave, right? So it's just like, I'm gonna fuck your life up for a minute.
I don't need autosave because I'm far too like obsessive. I just hit the hotkey like after I do everything. It's like I moved the thing, Control S. Moved another thing, Control S, all day. I've lost too much work in the past from various. Oh, I felt so sorry for as a trainee prop artist at work at the minute, and I think he lost like 2 hours work. From
that's
not
never
saving
fun.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah, and I just looked across and he just like face planted his desk, and I was like, oh, this looks bad. What happened? He was like, it crashed. I was like, did you lose stuff? Yes. Oh,
It crashed and now I'm sad.
Yeah. Oh, I've been there. It sucks. It sucks a lot. That's why I have obsessive compulsive disorder over saving.
As people should.
He's not in ZBrush. Oh, that's not. I just saw it as Nightbot. You're at Max, right?
I am in Max
Horrible
at the
program.
moment, yeah. Terrible, awful program. Sane people do not use this program.
No, horrible program. Don't do it. It's funny, every now and again someone comes up to my desk and they're kind of standing behind me and watching me work because they're on a break or something, and they'll be like, man, Maya's so cool. I'm like, yeah, I know, right? You fuckers gotta use Maya. Or I'll just hear someone go, I love Maya, I wish I could use Maya. I'm like,
Yeah,
I get to use Maya. I guess use Maya.
yeah.
With level arts, go use Max.
I can't say where I was yesterday, but what I will say is when people asked me, like, you've been using Max for this long, we have a lot of people in here that have used it for that long as well. Just purely out of curiosity, what is your opinion on it? Like, would you ever consider switching to anything else? And I was literally like, at this point, it's basically Stockholm syndrome. Like, it's the only reason I'm still using this fucking software, man. And they were like, that's basically what everyone else says as well.
It's like, I think I said in my first few weeks in the job where I had to just pick up a couple things in Max, and I just sat there and went quite loudly, Max sucks. And like 3 people went, yeah!
Yeah! Yeah, no, it's absolutely right. Max sucks hard.
The only thing I like about it is the way the history works. Like the editable history is really cool, and I
Yeah.
wish Maya had that because Maya's history sucks. It sucks massively.
Yeah,
But-
the stack is
And
amazing.
if you if you don't delete history in Maya, the program will literally start to slow down.
Yep.
It's like if I'm doing mass like editing on vertices or something across a whole model, and I'm doing tons of tweaks and stuff, I'll just be like, delete vertex, and then I have to wait like 3 seconds because I haven't deleted the fucking history in about like half an hour or something.
Yeah,
It's
fuck
just
all of
like,
that.
don't do that. However, how
However,
you have
it's
to do
still
so-
better than Max.
It's still better than Max. And I'm still sitting there like, yeah, but look how easy it is for me to do this thing, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, yeah. Max is.
Hello.
Max. Hey, May. How's it going?
It's July.
It is July.
Julie.
Yeah,
No,
Julie.
it's July.
It's Julie.
Me, Julie.
Well, you're Julie. Yeah.
No.
No, you.
No, you.
No,
Where's
me.
Omega? Yes, you.
Omega is apparently buying a car or something. Accidentally buying a car.
Accidentally buying a car?
Apparently,
What?
yeah. Literally how it's been rumored to go down.
I was staying at one of my friend's house not too long ago, and I was watching you work on Mervon, and he came up behind me because we've got like a couple computers over his house.
Right.
He's like, "Why are you watching some dude touch up on a naked guy?"
and
Yeah, that's
and
pretty much
naked,
Lee's life all the
a
time.
short naked fat guy as well. Yeah.
I was like, "Well, you see, it's complicated, okay?"
Yeah.
how you make video
Just be like, hey, I thought we weren't kink shaming.
Yeah. He was pretty much just like, "All right, dude, whatever floats your boat."
It's good. It's good to have friends like that.
Yeah, but one of those friends is Lee.
Huh? What have I done now?
Nah, just saying, it's good to have friends like that.
I'm a good friend, man.
Good to
You are a
have
good
friends
friend.
that work on naked people.
I genuinely I think I've told this story before, but I think we were working on our university project at my house, and I think it was the first time that you come over for us to sort of work together.
Right.
And I just kind of looked over and just saw like the screen covered in naked people, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Characterized right here.
oh, yeah, character art. Yeah, literally gets to sit there and has a legitimate reason to like look at porn.
Chebs everywhere.
Yeah. I think that's probably the first time I ever said the word chebs and you lost it.
It was amazing.
Spent too much time in Scotland.
How am I gonna do this?
Oh, I just realized we're in general chat.
Hello.
Yeah, because it was really
Lee got
quiet.
lonely.
Yeah, I got lonely.
Oh.
I actually like went and checked up on the server real quick. I was like, oh, y'all streaming, and then I noticed you're in general chat. I was like, did someone make a mistake?
No, I got lonely,
July.
so I figured I'd just say,
Alright,
say hi
well,
to people.
now I'll fill the void.
All by myself.
Yeah, but literally that. Literally
Don't
that.
wanna be.
Yeah.
Hey, do you see the Shazam trailer, Lee?
I did. It looks so bad.
I'm looking forward to it.
Man, did you
I think it's
have,
gonna be
have you
silly.
have you seen all the muscle padding in that suit?
Oh yeah, he's basically just covered in padding. It's
Because
brilliant.
that guy is he's not a big guy or whatever. And The Rock is the bad guy, right? The Rock is playing Black Adam, isn't he?
I have no idea.
Pretty sure he is. Hang on. Shazam, Black Adam. Rock. Let's Google this real quick. Yeah, The Rock is playing as Black Adam. So
they already used Black Adam in the first one. Couldn't they use someone else? Couldn't they have a different bad guy?
apparently it's only going to be a cameo. So
Okay, because Black Adam is like big bad guy, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
That's not like introduction film bad guy.
But like my point here is you've got this guy who is tiny and wearing a suit that's full of foam padding. And then you've got The Rock, who is literally the ultimate meathead.
Oh man, I just saw the Jumanji movie recently, and I was like, man, The Rock is so big.
He is fucking huge.
He buffed up a lot before they did that last movie. What the Jumanji? Yeah, they buffed up quite a bit before they did that. Also,
yeah,
with
man.
Yeah.
The Rock is just fucking big. He's just so fucking big.
I mean, he doesn't. It's not like he plays a character in his movies. He just plays himself. You know.
That's not. I mean, there are a ton of actors who are the same, and that's not always a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, you go to the movie to see something like that, and you get exactly what you want.
Yeah. I mean, he plays himself very well.
Yeah.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would, wouldn't it? But yeah, no, I watched an episode of the Joe Rogan podcast with I think it was with Jamie Foxx.
That podcast is really interesting to say the least.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's yeah. Some of them are great. Yeah. But there was. Yeah, so there was this one with Jamie Foxx, and they were basically just like, "Oh man, have you seen The Rock's Instagram?" And they're talking about it and everything. And they're like, "If you ever want to feel bad about yourself, like if you ever wake up in the morning and feel like you're having a good day or whatever, just go and look at The Rock's Instagram. And he was up like 3 hours before you this morning. He's already done more in those 3 hours than you're gonna do in your entire day." It's like
he's very progressive in terms of his how he keeps up with things. I think before they did the Hercules movie, I'm pretty sure he played in that one. He did like some crazy sort of dieting plan where he ate like 6,000 calories a day or something like that.
Oh yeah, I mean he does. He eats an insane amount of food every day, and that's literally like he has to because the amount of muscle he has on his body just like it would destroy him otherwise.
Yeah, he'd slowly start losing it, I guess.
Yeah, he'd atrophy like real fast.
Pretty interesting though. So with in terms of like y'all's designs, I really like at first like when you were doing the Prime Beast.
Mm-hmm.
When y'all were first doing the Prime Beast, like I really liked the design, the original design. And then I was like, when y'all started with the second one, I was like, all right, this is kind of interesting. But originally, I was like, all right, I like the first one. But by the time y'all finished up the second design, I was like, all right, this is lit. You know
Thanks, man.
I was skeptical at first, but like once you got to the end of it, it was really nice. I like the little things coming out of his back and everything. Really
Joe doesn't like those.
It really looks like something really big, you know, bigger than life.
Yeah.
What don't I like?
The tendrils that come out of his back.
No comment.
It makes it look more biological.
You can certainly comment on it, man. Like, you know me.
No, it's not that I don't like them. This is
Everybody said
as someone
you can admit to it.
Okay, so I'm a very detail oriented person. I kind of have to be for my job, and so when I see something like that and I see meshes that just stick out of another mesh with no kind of like biological connection as to like, for me there should be like skin wrapping around the base, like a root, like kind of
right. Yeah.
Like a hair coming out of skin, right? Like I would expect to see something. So when I look at something like that, it looks too gamey to me, and I immediately go, if we're going for something that looks really kind of authentic and cool, I would want to see something like that.
Right.
in the mesh itself, rather than stuff just protruding out of a mesh, because that, as an artist, annoys the shit out of me.
And that's absolutely fair enough, man. Like, I actually do agree with you, though. I need to find a way of making them kind of like blend in a little bit better.
And can you send me the? Do we have a link to the image to the character somewhere?
Yeah, somewhere. I can just grab you the screenshots though if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so are they supposed to be like hairs and like are they supposed to flow, or is it like just something coming about his back with spikes?
It's just tendrils. They're gonna kind of like wave around, but not.
Yeah, that would be nice. It's like a majestic boss.
Yeah, you hear that,
Yeah.
Joe? Majestic.
Yeah.
No,
With those hard adjectives.
Yeah, here's the link.
I'm gonna go full on like hardcore critique now in a second.
It's in character art development.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of get where he's coming from, though. Like, I guess in a way, it looks kind of natural. I don't know. I'm not an artist whatsoever, so I just like video games.
Well,
and playing them.
This is
the thing is like
this is something that we actually like. We talked about this a lot. Like, because I used to lecture at a university, and Joe and I both did our master's degree there and everything, and there were a lot of people on that master's degree that. Anyway, like there's.
What were you saying about bitching about people in the industry? Lee? Let's not do that.
Yeah, I know. So like, it's always, you know, people always kind of sit there and go like, I'm not an artist, so I can't really comment. It's like, well, you can. You have eyes. You can see stuff. You have your own thoughts on a thing. What you lack, I guess, is the language of critique, right? Like that's the thing that you're missing. You're not missing, like, you have an opinion and your opinion is valid. It's just not necessarily knowing how to express it properly. And the only way to get better at expressing it is to just do it and then argue your point, kind of thing. So don't ever feel like, and I would say the same to like anyone that's listening in the stream, anyone that's on Discord, whatever. Like, if you don't like something that I'm doing, that's cool. Tell me what you don't like, but more importantly, tell me like why you don't like it.
Or give like
because if what you're saying makes sense, and it's just something I've overlooked or like have literally just like done completely wrong or whatever, then I absolutely should change it, right? So don't ever feel like just because you're not an artist that you are somehow not allowed to give feedback, or that your feedback is any less valuable. You know, it's just that I have to work a little bit harder to decipher the feedback. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Right. So looking at Jungle Boss now.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So I'll just touch on the points that I think could be improved on in like the design of the character, right? The Jungle Boss.
Yeah, sure.
So I've said this to you already, that the tendrils they pop off the character, right? They don't feel like they're part of the character the way it's currently designed.
Yep.
I feel like each tendril should have some kind of skin or something at the root or at the base that looks like it is actually coming out of the skin, rather than, you know, right now it looks very, the only term to use is gamey, where a mesh is just sticking out of another mesh and it's very obvious.
Right.
The kind of energy that's coming off of them, the kind of glow, I feel like, and you've also got the same glow on his eyes. I feel like it's really cool, but it's kind of like the only place where it is. And because of the coloring, your eyes are immediately drawn to the tendrils because they're kind of these hot spots on the character.
Okay.
So I think it would kind of bring the whole character together if you were to take that kind of glow or energy that is there and add it elsewhere in the character. So it feels like that kind of energy is within the character rather than just kind of outside of it on these kind of distracting things that are on its back,
Sure.
because it's kind of like the first thing you want to look at because of coloring and lights and blah blah blah. And I think it would kind of add to the character, but I'm not a character designer. This is just me as an artist looking at this.
All good though.
And the tendrils on his arms feel super thin, like feel really tiny compared to the rest of it, and they're kind of like he's got these kind of bone-like protrusions on the top of his arms, like spike things, small ones. He's got one big one on his elbow, and he's got two on his forearm. And I don't feel like that these tendrils would come out of that, and they kind of look like that structure would be too solid, too thick, unless you show a reason for those to be protruding out of the mesh there.
Right.
Because it feels like armor plating, and those feel like weak spots in armor plating to me. It just feels a bit counterintuitive in terms of like natural design. Like, why would they be there? What purpose do they serve in this creature's design? Yeah.
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 That's cool, man.
Like, I think it would be cool, like where the skin would be like weaker or thinner, that you'd have less armor plating, like underneath him and under his forearms and like on the insides of his legs and stuff. That's where you could show that there's some kind of energy within the creature, maybe, where the skin is a bit thinner. But where he's got this like thick armor plating, I wouldn't expect to see like anything like that. Like, otherwise, I think the design is really cool.
What did y'all think of the old Prime Beast that was in like Paragon? Because I never really liked it that much, like the actual like base design for it.
I
mean,
didn't either. It didn't fit in really.
Shape
personally.
If that makes any sense.
I think it fit with the design of like the minions and stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you consider all the other minions that were in the lanes and in the jungle and everything, it made sense. But I still found the overall design to be a bit boring. And it's such a horrible thing to say, because like I know a bunch of the artists at Epic and they're all fucking amazing. And I know that one of them like would have put some effort into that. But I also know that they were being directed by someone above them to say like this is the look and feel that they all have to go with. So, it's a yeah.
Yeah, art direction is a real thing. And it's something that you kind of you can't really argue with. Like, sometimes artists have different visions for what they want to make, but it may not fit within a project's like state of the world or like metrics or anything like that. It could be a million different reasons why what an artist wants to do with whatever they're responsible for will work, and it may drag people out. It may be literally detrimental to a game's design to allow like artists to just do whatever they want, which is why the role of an art director even exists. Essentially, is to kind of keep everyone on the same track and to have an overall feel and look to the whole thing that is consistent. So without someone overseeing sort of the art as a whole across every single part of the design, you would just have chaos and a mess.
I actually gotta get going pretty soon. It was nice talking with y'all, though. Maybe if y'all stick around streaming a little bit longer, I might catch it back.
Yeah, catch that, man.
But yeah,
have a good day, evening, whatever time it is over there.
Yeah, it's about dinner time, so I gotta go eat.
Yeah, catch that, man. Good talking to you.
Jajni asked what Mervin's role was.
That's for mechanics to talk about.
And then Mark Calkins asked, "Can Joe stream his work one day?"
Probably not. If I do stream, but mostly games. And if I do stream, it would just be personal work. Right now, I probably won't be doing a huge amount of work on this project outside of helping out and documentation and stuff, mainly because I have a ton of stuff to do at work, and I'm doing increased amounts of overtime up until October. So I'm not really in a position to be able to do a lot of work on this right now, if I'm honest. It's just the way it is. Sadly, I'm working on a game that is due for release.
What do you mean, sadly, man? I'm fucking pumped that you're working on that game.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
The game is due out early release, is in March next year, and I have deadlines, and to meet those deadlines, much overtime, much crunch. So after a long day, it's not always the nicest thing to come back and do exactly what you do at work at home. So I think anyone who has a day job would agree.
Yep, I get you, man.
Yeah, I understand that.
So it's in my own physical health, like mental health, and just because when I do work on this properly, I want to give it the attention it deserves. And right now, there's not as much need for my work right now as there will be later. So it's not a bad thing.
What's the game you're working on called?
It's called The Division 2.
Okay.
It's a shooty pew pew game.
It's an RPG. Yeah.
Yeah, shooty pew pew.
Big budget AAA thing.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
Joe gets to live in a town that is literally a postcard.
It is actually.
Joe lives in a
It's
fucking postcard town.
I actually live in a holiday destination. It's the weirdest place to have a studio. Like, it's the weirdest place to have a studio. But I walk through town. It's mostly tourists here, but I'm lucky enough to actually live here, which is quite nice. And if I can find a link about what this town looks like.
I live in a village.
I used to live in the middle of fucking nowhere. But it's known as the...
I mean, you do now, just in France.
Yeah, I actually still live in the middle of this is a pretty place. Here we go. I found the postcard picture that...
Yeah, dude, I remember, like, the first week that you went out there, like, you were like, so this is what you'll find if you Google the place, and here's the pictures I took at those exact same places.
Yeah. Well, it was funny, because when I got emailed about applying for this job, the initial email, I still fucking laugh at my manager, because he emailed me with these postcard images of the town. And it said, like, hey, I saw your work, would you like to apply, because we're hiring a prop artist? And I went, and at the bottom of the email was like these 5 images of this town, and I was just like, what the fuck, it looks like some kind of crazy holiday town. And yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
In the summer, it's full of tourists who go hiking and sit around the lake and enjoy the sunshine. And in the winter, it's full of people who like to ski.
It's cool.
Always full of people. There's tons of Americans here as well. It seems to be like a popular destination for Americans. I personally, I'd never even heard of the town before I came in.
Is that
before I suddenly got told I had to live here. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go and study abroad.
Man, yeah. I mean, I don't think travel or studying abroad hurts anybody at all. Like, the only thing that it can do is broaden your mind, man. Like,
yeah.
Especially, and I realize that there's going to be some people that probably take offense to this, but like, it's a statistic, right? Like, most Americans barely have even left their own state, let alone the country.
Oh yeah, no.
There's a high
People
percentage of Americans that don't own a passport, right? So, you know.
Yeah.
I live in the middle of America, and it's like I live in Missouri, and so like it's basically redneck village everywhere, even in the huge cities.
Nice.
Like, the stereotypical, you know, I'm gonna get with my cousin kind of redneck.
What? That can't be real. I thought that was a myth.
No, like
I've seen them with my own eyes, Lee.
No, no.
it's legal, like in some southern states. I
No.
Oh,
No. Ah, no! I can't deal with it, man. Oh, good lord!
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why I'm from the city.
Holy shit balls!
I'll always
Yeah.
remember. I think I had told this story as well. I'll always remember driving through Virginia, stopping off to get gas, watching a woman get out of her car, go around and open the back door, and pull out a lead. Out jumps this giant pig with a spiked collar on, and I was just like, I'm so glad I'm not stopping in Virginia. We're just passing through. I went to North Carolina. It ain't much better.
Oh man!
You know, I that's actually a pretty common occurrence out here.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pigs and
It was the
chickens and-
spiked collar and the way the woman looked and everything about it. I was like, man, I'm scared.
That pig's gonna mess me up, man.
I feel like actually no, I'm not gonna go there.
I like the only like the first time I ever learned about like rednecks and pigs was watching Super Troopers for the first time.
Oh no.
You know what's funny? In all my travels around the States, the only thing I came to realize was that everything I've ever seen in those American comedies
It's true?
is that they're all true. is that they are all based on something on reality.
Yeah, I was gonna say like must all be based on like a real thing that a real
They are
person did.
like someone had a real experience with someone, and you know, and I don't know. Like I've been in one of those like American underage like garden parties, you know, where everyone's drinking beer and the cops turn up and everyone fucking scatters, you know, and like because the cops have walked in and obviously like, you know, you can't be drinking beer because, you know, you're 17 or something, and all of a sudden, like from a party of like 80 people, there's no one in sight. You turn around and you're like, fuck, did everyone go?
There are like, of all the places in the world to visit, like as a European or as an English person at the very least, America is the least likely to give you culture shock, but there are still some places, man.
Oh yeah,
that will mess you up.
The biggest one, because I was 19, I think, my first trip, and I was in the States for about 6 months, and I went from being a bar manager to not being legal to drink. That fucked with my brain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And on the other hand, Americans love it because they come to visit the UK and they're like 18 and they're like, holy shit, I'm legal to drink. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And they go insane.
Omega asked, "Is Joe trying to fight?" And then she said, "Okay, never mind. I saw a teddy bear nail gun to a fence next to a wood American flag."
Yeah.
There's some crazy stuff out here. Like,
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, there's good
Crazy stuff over here as well.
UK.
Like if you're learning Glaswegian, if you ever want to go to Glasgow, man, like prepare yourself.
Oh, that's that. Now that's a culture shock. I think. I mean, it's weird because like I thought I was gonna be like have I don't know some kind of culture shock moving to France, but haven't really. Like I have noticed that I think that in general French people are not as polite as I would have as I would come to expect people in general to be. I've had some experiences where I'm like, motherfucker, are you serious? But like, one thing actually that stuck out the most is the idea of a queue doesn't exist in this country.
What, French people just don't know how to queue?
No, they see a queue and they just walk past it to the front.
That doesn't sit well with British people.
Every single day, I go to a few different places to get my lunch at work, and I'll be standing there and there'll be a queue of like 5-6 people, and there's always some motherfucker who just decides, I'm going to the front. Fuck all these boys, and no one says anything, and I'm sitting there like, bitch, you serious?
I'm hungry, man. I will stab you.
You don't walk to the front with your basket of like 20 things and you're going to take 10 minutes? I got one thing.
Get your cheese
Seriously.
out my face.
But of course, I'm British and I'm too polite, so I won't say a bloody thing. I'll just sit there and mentally create ways of what I would say to them if I actually ever said anything.
Yeah.
Or think of ways of how I would throw them through the shop window. But I'm too polite, so I would never actually do any of these.
Bless you.
Maybe I should go work a massive after and move to Sweden.
Apparently Swedes are very good at queues. So good, in fact, that they have like ticket systems when you want to go buy alcohol.
I'm totally down with that. That sounds nice and organised to me. It would be a stark contrast to where I live now. Dude, by the way, when they won the World Cup, you think I got any sleep? Fuck no.
No, not even a little.
Not even a little bit.
One of the best things I saw was like someone was like, "Oh, this is what it looked like in Paris when France won the World Cup, right?" And there's just a photograph of like all these bras flying up in the air, and the top comment on this photo was "worst photographer ever."
Oh man. Yeah, no, I looked out my apartment window and was like, what have I walked into? I looked out about an hour after they won, and there were, there's plenty of people outside. I was like, oh, it looks like they're having a party. I looked out like 2 hours later, there were pickup trucks pulling people. Someone had put a blow-up swimming pool onto a trailer that was being towed by a pickup truck, filled it with water, and they were just driving around the city in that.
So redneck France. France became redneck for the day.
Oh yeah, there were tractors and JCBs driving around with people sitting and standing in the lifted up front part.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? It was like, were you playing? Did you win the World Cup personally?
What's up? Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Omega's finally here.
Yeah.
There were people having.
So how's your new car?
We didn't get the car.
What the fuck?
Nice.
Why would you be there for that long and not get a car?
Because then after we left, we went to get ice cream, and then
Sugar.
they
You
sent me
went to get
the grocery
sugar.
Store. Then they sent me to the grocery store to get bread, and so then they were like, "Should we go to the mall to get them?" I was like, "No, I want to go home."
Oh, I will say, did I tell you, Lee, that someone did actually die in Annecy that day?
Really?
Because of the World Cup, so yeah, someone died.
Oh man.
Like, straight up. They as soon as
Did they go and fall in the lake, or, like get drunk and fall in the lake or something?
Pretty much. They apparently what happened was as soon as the final whistle blew and France won, he went and jumped head first into the river. The river is very shallow. He broke his neck instantly.
Oh man.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh yeah.
I mean, at least he was happy though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Silver linings and all that,
in the big
come on.
in the big scheme of things, man. Like, there's worse ways to go.
I'm pretty sure if he was to be asked what he would rather have had, I'm pretty sure he would rather have not died.
You don't know that?
I mean,
We don't kink shame, man.
Whoa.
a few people to work with there. They didn't see it happen, but they saw the commotion afterward. Craziness.
All about that commotion, man. Yeah, that whole thing. Like, so many people here was like, England are gonna do it this year. England are gonna do it this year. I was like, England ain't never gonna fucking do it, man.
England ain't never winning that. There's no way. The second I was like, nah, we lose them tonight. Because I know, because I just assume when the World Cup is on that England, in all the years usually I'm like, come on England, and then this year I was like, nah, we suck, we're gonna lose. And then we started winning and I was like, I'm just gonna keep assuming that we're gonna lose and that will make us win. And then as soon as we got to the semi-finals I was like, we might do it. Lost instantly. So I'm just gonna always assume that England will lose and that way we'll win the World Cup. That's how my brain works.
Yep. There.
Yeah, I got a brief flash of the almighty crotch beard.
Oh, yeah. I did give him a beard, a crotch beard. True. The thing
He's self-styling with his own, Lee's doing his own beard.
No,
Your beard is very unruly at the minute, Lee. You need to do something about it. I meant to tell you when I was last back, but
my beard is fine.
Wow.
My beard is.
Gary takes a lot of care with his beard.
My beard is majestic.
He makes a point to tell us, guys, I got special beard shampoo and beard oil.
I
and beard
do.
comb."
I have all that shit.
I tell you what, when you have a beard of that size, it's kind of required.
Yeah.
You're just saying, I'm just saying, you're saying his stuff is unruly. He's just like, I got all this stuff.
Yeah, all these.
I got all the
things,
required materials.
I guess it's just how it's just where you've grown it. It's like where it's at its longest. I'm like, okay. There's me. There's like I keep my beard really kind of like.
Joe's
trimmed.
beard is tidy as fuck. You have never seen a tidier beard than Joe's.
But you don't go to a barber's or anything, do you? You just kind of do your own thing.
I'm not gonna pay someone to cut my fucking beard hair, man.
Well, yeah, I mean,
A professional.
I mean, you sit there and you're like, yeah, I keep care of my beard, but really, you should get a barber.
Oh man, he's not even in it anymore. Tiptoeing around it, but at the same time, just straight up.
Yep. Murdered with words.
Sorry. To be honest, I'm no one to say tell a man what to do with his beard. A man's beard is his own thing.
Yep.
No one messes with
I
me.
only let specific people touch my beard. Let's be honest. Professional.
Man's beard is a temple.
It's the weirdest part is when you have a beard, people do actually sometimes want to touch it.
Yeah,
And it's
Joe. I mean, for those that don't know, Joe is very like. He doesn't like touching. Joe does not like physical contact. Like not even a tiny little bit.
Nah, because most people are unclean, man. People don't wash their hands.
People are
People are unclean. Like so there was a day that I took both my daughters around to his place. Can't remember why. I think it was just like to give him a day away from the house or whatever. Yeah. So I took him around there, and Tyria's like, she was playing Injustice 2, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think she was playing Injustice 2 on your fighting machine, and like she's having a whale of a time and everything, and Ellie's just she's not doing it.
She was
I think she
playing
was playing the DS or something.
No, she was playing the Switch. She was playing the what was it? The one where the one with the punching game with.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
Arms.
Arms.
She was playing Arms.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. So yeah, that was what was happening there, and I decided like it's time for us to go. So I was like, okay, girls, like bathroom's over there. Go. You know, make sure that you use the bathroom and everything before we leave. 'Cause it's a bit of a drive back. And like, Joe's just like broken out the antiseptic wipes and starts wiping down everything that they've touched. And he just looked at and the thing is, like, I knew this was gonna happen. Right, like I knew Joe was gonna do something like this, but it's just the way he looked at me and he went, "I'm sorry, man, but kids have SARS."
I'm not wrong, man. Kids go to school, they come back with some crazy ass illness, and they get their parents sick, and it's like, I know this. I don't even have kids, and
yeah, no, I understand, man. I get you. Don't worry.
In hindsight, I wish I just waited for you to leave before I did it, so this story wouldn't exist. But
it's fine. So. It's fine. Quality moments, man. It's all about quality moments.
Just the straight up OCD of it all.
That's great.
I did think about it afterwards, and I was like, that was really rude. At the same time, I was like,
that was really rude, but at least I'm not going to get ill.
Yeah, I ain't going to get sick, so I don't care. I have antiseptic like gel on my desk at work because every single day, every single morning, I have to shake hands with everyone I work with. And
that sounds gross.
Nerds,
that sounds super.
Oh
gross.
man, you know me. Okay, you know how difficult this is for me. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, the smart ones fist bump. Like, but sometimes if you go for a fist bump and they hold out their hand, you're like, oh, this is awkward, so I'll just shake their hand. But I try to just fist bump people. And it's funny because all of the lead artists, all of the leads, all of the managers, they fist bump. They don't shake hands because they know that nerds are dirty.
Nerds are dirty. Dirty fucking
nerds. It's like, you ever go to a con? You ever go to like Comic-Con or anything like that? Like,
oh yeah, man. First time I went to GDC, I came home and I was just like ill for the next week. The second time I went, I had hand sanitizer like in the pocket of my trousers. So like every time I shook hands with someone, I was like, clean my hands.
Hand sanitizer.
Oh, you caught the con plague?
Oh man,
it's
dirty stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. So don't anyone try and tell me that I haven't been sick in ages. I ain't had a cold. I've been fine.
Man, I think I was there the last time you got ill, and it wasn't pretty. Like we were balls deep in our masters, so.
Well, phrasing. That's
probably why you got sick.
Phrasing. Jesus Christ.
That's probably why you got sick, honestly.
Sorry. My apologies.
But no, like, have you been to a video game room at a convention? It's just like, oh gosh.
Yeah, like I went to a couple of the Eurogamer expos and stuff. But oh man, like literally, what's one went to? Yeah, I went to EGX Res not too long ago. Literally, just like dirty, sweaty nerds everywhere.
Oh, they don't shower for days. They don't shower while they're there. Come on.
You gotta get the high score on DDR, man.
For the love of God. For the love of everyone's nose around you, take a shower.
There's a reason why the video game room door is closed. You open that door, you're just like, oh, well, I guess I forgot my gas mask.
Oh.
It's like sometimes if we have like a long meeting at work, or if you go, no, the worst one is going into a meeting room after a big meeting. And there's like 15 people come out of a room and you're like, oh, I don't want to go in there. And then you go in and you're like, I regret everything.
Everything about my life up until this point.
You're like, you just like hold your breath, you run to the window, you open it, you start fanning. And the funny part about it is, no one ever says anything. You just see them kind of wrinkle up their nose, and they just go. They just resign themselves to their fate of, oh man, we're gonna sit here for the next half an hour in this stinky ass room.
When there was a. So we were told that we were required to attend these things at university, and we, to be fair, we attended the first one, and then we were like, "This is bullshit. Let's not go to any more of these."
What was this again? I can't remember.
Do you remember? You remember when it was someone talking about like their career in film and.
Oh yeah,
and then there was like a sub lecture on essentially like what is a web series and shit like that, and like and it was just like it was so painful sitting through it, like just horrific.
We had to attend at least one or two of them, I think.
Yeah, well, I attended.
Like it was compulsory to attend a couple.
I attended that one, and I think you and Tudor went to a different one because you were like, "It's compulsory," and I was like, "Nah, I'll be in the library. See you guys."
See you later.
Yeah, can't deal with this.
The amount of times we turned up, and we were like, I think there were a few lectures that we were supposed to go to that we just ended up like turning up to uni and being like, "Nah, let's just go sit in one of the classrooms with Lee and
do actual work."
Do actual work, or just like, I don't know, anything other than being in the actual lecture. Teaching you how to use Google. Don't even get me started on that.
Yep.
I paid good money for an MA lecture for someone to teach me how to Google something.
Yep.
Bitch, please.
We're not salty about our degrees at all, are we?
Did they teach you anything?
What was that?
Nah, I genuinely came out at the end of that MA like, didn't need to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a question I get asked a lot. Is like, why did you do this master's degree? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I really don't know.
The best part about it is that when I was interviewing, when I graduated, some of the first things that they asked me is, why the fuck did you do an MA? Like, employers asking me, why did you do this?
Yeah.
Like, because in their minds, they're like, what was the point?
Yeah, this was clearly a bad decision.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Why? It's always the way they ask as well. They always ask it the same way. It's like, why did you do this? They're not even asking me like anything else. They just want to know why I would possibly decide to do that.
Yeah. And like when you get asked by, oh, that was the best one. So we got emailed by the leader on the course asking us to talk to this guy who was thinking of doing this course, and we got. And the thing is, this was like, we were 6 months in and we had already told the course leader that like we hated the course. We would never recommend it to anyone or anything. And he was just like, yeah, do you want to sit with this guy and like talk to him about the course, tell him how good it is and stuff? And we were just like, not how it's gonna go down, man.
Didn't we sit him down at Nando's and proceed to rip into the course for like an hour?
Yes. That was a very fun Nando's.
I thoroughly enjoyed my time, actually. Because I think we all took a moment to just tell him face to face how much the course sucks.
Yep.
I'll tell you what really got to me over the whole thing was how outdated a lot of the information is that they were teaching.
Yeah.
Especially now I work in the industry, it's so much more apparent, and the amount of things that some people just don't know who come straight from school is scary. It's like genuinely scary. And I just like, but the thing is, like, what was worse is that I knew it when we were doing the course.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting in at the start of it in some of the bachelor's lectures because, I don't know, for some reason in my brain I thought I would learn something new. Because I thought Neil would, I don't know, teach something I didn't know. But, you know, after I think the first 3 or 4 lectures of watching Neil teach and listening to some of the stuff he was saying, I was like, damn, like, this is really old information. And I understand that the students didn't know any of it at all, but a lot of the stuff was really out of date by a good few years. It just kind of sucks, but look, I mean, students get employed when they come out, so I just wish that the course that people like put their hopes and dreams in and was going to get them a job, you know, at least help them or teach them what they needed to get a job, so that when they actually get the job and they go to work, then they don't have to feel like they don't know what they're doing when someone asks them to do something. Because I've seen that look in people's faces and they panic.
Yep.
And, you know, I have, you know, some trainees that I've been like trying to get up to speed on certain things, and you just don't know. And it's not their fault. It's just, I entirely blame the schools that teach them. I don't blame them at all. But when you tell someone how to do something and they go, and you tell them how to do it and they go, oh, that makes sense. And I'm like, yeah, because that's like, you know, the correct way to do it. And they go, you kind of look at them, realize and kind of click about how it's supposed to be done. And trying to, you know, very simple thing of like trying to, the biggest pain in the ass, or the biggest thing that I find that students aren't encouraged to do is to maintain a good resolution in their scenes for an environment. And it's really important.
When you say good,
to be
you
honest.
mean like a consistent one?
Consistent. You can maintain consistent resolution across your textures, across all of your props, so across your whole environment. Yeah, and you know, it's something that any environment lead, any prop lead will drill into you in any project, and any game, anywhere, and that you will have your projects like textile density set, and that is what every single like asset will be set to, more or less. There's always a bit of breathing room, but it's pretty much like this is the way it has to be. And the amount of times where I will say to someone, okay, you're building a really big prop, what is your plan to keep this textile density across the entire prop whilst making it look unique, hide the tiling and make it look good? And most of them want to just do like a 4K texture, like have a big ass texture and just have it, you know, all unique. And I'm like, nope. You got to do this with like a 1K and a 2K texture. How are you going to do it? They haven't got a clue most of the time. Yep. Haven't the faintest idea. And like I was talking to a few artists about their portfolios a few months back, and I was looking at the portfolio and I was looking at it, and they sent me a marmoset view, and I zoomed in and saw the resolution really fucking right. It's like the props would hold up at distance, but the second you got close to them, you could see how low res it was. Yeah. And it wouldn't hold up in any game where you could get within a few meters of the prop. And I said, you know, to the guy, like, this is a uniquely big prop, isn't it? And he went, yeah. And I said, so what? That's like 5 meters wide, it's about 6 meters tall, and you're using what, like a 2K texture on it? He went, yeah. I was like, okay, so that would be why you're already having resolution. Because he was like, why does it look like that? Well, you're using a really low resolution texture on a massive prop. Of course it looks low res. And you could never have like a 4K texture for a prop. Unless it's like some massive hero prop, most technicians in most games will turn around to you and go, oh, we don't want to load 4K textures.
And even if you were allowed 4K, you'd probably still split it down into multiple 2Ks, right?
Yeah, like there's so many like more efficient ways of not having to load lots of unique textures to help your game actually run. That, you know, these are things you need to think about when you're building an environment, and unfortunately it's not encouraged. It's taught, but it's not emphasized how important it is at uni.
Yeah. At university, they're literally like you want like amazing looking portfolio pieces. It doesn't matter if it actually runs. Like, it just has to look good. No, right? Like that's what they're taught.
Yeah, they're taught to make stuff that's okay. It's like ArtStation syndrome. Everything on ArtStation looks so pretty, right? Only at small percentage of it is something that I would actually consider to be good game artwork.
Yeah.
Because the
definitely.
majority of it would never be used. It's completely unusable as a game asset. And so when you're looking through portfolios, it doesn't matter how pretty the prop looks. If they're not showing wireframes and textures and being really explicit about the process and how they've made it to be a game asset, then they don't really know what they're doing. Even if they know all of the process, they're not producing work that you could ever use.
Yep.
And it's like you see it in so many student portfolios, and it's really sad. But what can you do other than and sadly, that's also when you get students who leave the university courses and they're done, and they're like, right, I'm going to get a job, and they apply with the stuff, and they get the interview because the work's pretty, and then they're asked some specific questions, and they're like, I don't, because they don't, and or sometimes they get the job. Or maybe they're asked to do an art test and they don't pass the art test because one reason or another they're not doing it correctly, and it sucks. And I blame universities for that completely. Really
I'm with you there, man. Well, I'm with you there.
Yeah, no, it's not like you didn't write a paper on it or anything.
I may have written a couple of scathing lines in an essay or two.
may possibly have angered most of a university over a single paper you wrote.
Yeah. What a shit.
Yeah, Lee literally wrote a paper that summarized everything I just said as a university paper.
Yeah, like this
single-handedly managed to piss off half of the staff.
Yeah, so this is a paper that because it's a university paper, the university could choose to publish it somewhere, and that means that other people are going to read it and everything. All a bit. I don't know why they would though, because it just makes it look bad.
No, it makes it look bad. And woe be you to make that university look bad.
I know,
Best
right?
part about it is I know I'm going to be asked to go back and give the students a talk.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a good idea. I'd have to be just really nice, I guess. Sure. I'll do it for the students.
Well, they need someone that knows what they're talking.
Well, you say that. They didn't renew your contract, did they? So...
Very true. Very, very true.
You say that they want people that know what they're talking about, yet they got rid of the only person that knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Work that shit out.
Okay.
I love how this stream is now purely because of my fault become bitching about a university degree.
Wait, is that happening in the chat as well?
No, that's just me talking. No one else has said a word.
Yeah, the chat is pretty much quiet. It's just listening.
Sorry, guys.
Get back to talking about what you're doing before I ruin your stream.
I don't even know what I'm doing. What am I doing?
You're making a wiggly ribbed pipe.
a wiggly rib that's ribbed for your pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Cease.
Oh, no.
This instant.
What she said.
Hey, it's on the package.
I mean, if Merv's into those things, whatever floats his boat.
Pretty
It's
sure,
not really for
pretty sure
him.
Merv likes anything with a pulse, to be honest.
I love how you've gone absolutely mental on the topology for that. And it's in comparison to the other cylindrical pieces, has way more topology, yet is not as visible than the big pieces that you can see the silhouette of and see the polygons of.
Alright, it will get baked down. It'll
me,
look pretty.
Lee.
You shut up, man. It'll look fine when it's baked down.
Let's play ping.
I'm not saying a word.
Why you gotta be such an asshole? People talk about like checks and balance in the industry. Joe is my checks and balances guy. It's just like it's like sometimes I just want to make cool shit, and Joe's like, looks cool, but fuck off, man.
Does it work?
Yeah, does it work?
Someone's got to say something. No one else is going to say anything.
Very true.
I mean,
they're all too impressed by you, Lee. I know
you
I
know
don't
the
need to be
truth.
impressed. I know the truth, and I have no. Stop being an idiot.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I'm never going to stream my work, because I don't want the same thing to happen with you.
Yeah, you know. I'll come in there, man. Like, look, son.
Let me tell you something. Oh,
This will never happen. Slotter1234 says, "What are you making?"
Porn.
Oh.
Something ribbed for your pleasure.
Yep.
Oh, thanks for the excitement, Psionics. We are excited as well. I'm planning to just hear for some background noise. No worries. Please feel free. These guys are a great background noise.
I'm not sure about great. I mean, we're all right.
Yeah, we had like a good half an hour of bitching about our degree again.
Yep.
One day we'll get over it, Lee. One day we will actually get past it.
Once the loan is paid off and everything, I'll just be like, yeah, fine. So I'm okay now. I'm okay now.
But yes, I have a question regarding how it packs sound. How loud is it going to be? It shouldn't be too loud. Probably about as loud as a walk animation. Like, because it's not supposed to be like the focus. If it's too distracting, it'll be annoying. So.
Someone called Ken Pachi says, "I just realized I'm on another account. It's Haggis."
Hi, Haggis.
Hey, Haggis.
What's good?
Hey, Omega, someone is messaging me through Discord and they're wondering where they can sign up to do some voice acting.
So that's an interesting thing because submit a application with a demo reel. Because just because you have a microphone and such does not mean that voice acting is easy. Basically.
Talking about just say some words down a mic, right?
Well, yes, that's part of the job.
I'm winding you up. I'm winding you up.
Just basic syllables. Is that it?
But you also need to be able to emote and portray the characters because acting is a very important part of voice acting. Being able to do a whole bunch of different voices is great and all, but we don't have a use for impressions really. So I mean, if you feel that you are a good actor and you have a demo reel that you can offer, and if not, a demo reel is some form that shows that you're able to act a character out and portray it realistically, then please feel free to submit. But at the current point in time, because voice acting is such a late in the game, like post-processing kind of thing, it'll probably be closer to like when we're in alpha, when we would need it. So I mean, definitely submit so that we can be on like a list and we can be like, oh hey, blah blah blah. We need you now.
Alright, there you go.
Yeah. Really detailed explanation.
Yep. I used to watch a streamer. He was a World of Warcraft streamer for a while, and then he started playing lots of different stuff. He was pretty bad at games in general, but he was like probably one of the most entertaining streamers I've ever watched. He was like this out-of-work actor, and he got into voice acting during the course of his career, and his girlfriend ended up getting a girlfriend who was like the first winner of America's Next Top Model or something, and he's now not a streamer anymore because he's pretty much like one of the main voice actors for most film trailers, and he found like massive success eventually. So it's really kind of cool success story about like some guy who just had this insane voice.
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
Hmm?
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
The streamer, he went by Duck Source. I think his name is Daniel Road. Daniel?
Then I don't know.
Hang on. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
what am I smelling? I'm gonna find him. He's fucking. He's some of the best streams I've ever watched. Matthew Road. There we go. He's actually on. Yeah, so he went from streaming on Twitch to like doing trailers and voices for like 22 Drum Street and stuff like that. I think it's awesome. Yeah.
He's not the In a World guy, is he?
No.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, he does stuff like that now. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of those guys. Normally they It's just like one of those things. That's even one of those things where it's like something is too cliche, you don't want to put it on your demo reel, and that's one of them.
In a world where voice acting has become cliche.
Well, it's also to do with like some people think they have the voice and try to do it.
Okay.
Right.
So normally that voice type is centered around like very deep tones or basses, and then you'll have people who are maybe like a high baritone, like a baritone 1 or so, or who will try to do it, and it doesn't. They don't have the gravitas required for it. Like they can still do something like in the ballpark, but it's not exactly like the right feel.
They don't have the gravitas.
Right. So the stuff he's done voices for this year, he was in Logan, American Made, Wish Upon, Wormwood, Kingsman, Blade Runner,
Are the tubes going to jiggle?
Jumanji, Black Panther, Jesus, tons of stuff. And he was a guy who was just streaming on Twitch.
Yeah. Voice actors can get famous for random stuff. Like you just doing something and then people are like, I like your voice, I want to use your voice and whatever. And
I like your voice.
That's how I started working on the radio.
That's how it works, because one of my projects I did was like, I want to say a Call of Duty project. I was like, it was a Call of Duty mod and I voice acted in that, and somebody's like, hey, I really like your voice. Would you help me with my project too? And that, like, I could have been a very prolific voice in a lot of Call of Duty mods. But I realized that's not a good idea.
Call of Duty sucks.
I mean, I already never really liked Call of Duty that much, but also because my voice isn't the voice type you want for a Call of Duty game.
Right.
So it's like, especially in the mods I did, they're like, why does this character sound gay? And I was like, what does gay sound like? I sound 20.
Clearly has a sound,
apparently
right?
It's... Right, I was like 20 sounds gay apparently, because I didn't do like the accent, I guess. So it was just like, okay.
There's another question for you in chat, Omega. They're asking, what should a demo reel include?
If you're gonna do a demo reel, make sure that you are showing off your acting ability. So that means, it's like, it's got to be like a minute long, and in that minute you have to show a range of different skills. So that means, like, if you're showing acting, you need to be able to show that you can portray emotions like sadness, happiness, anger, boredom. You need to show your range off. So if you have a bunch of different characters, that rate like a high voice, a low voice, a child voice, elderly, angry, if you sound like a werewolf, if you have a good orc voice, those all work. And just have like a good mixture of all of those. Hey. And but if
sorry, go on.
Yeah.
There you go.
And if you're making a demo reel, make sure that it is ideally you want it to be fully mixed, and by that I mean you need to have music in it as well, helps you set the scene, sound effects. make it look as close to the final product as you can. But if you can't, like, at least show that you are able to act, even if you only have one voice. Showing you're able to act is more helpful than showing that you have a range of voices.
All right, there you go.
And as for applying on this project specifically, you need to be able to demonstrate that you can basically just cope with me. I can't stress the importance of that enough.
I think I'm the only voice actor who hangs out with you besides Oni, and even he's not here that much.
I'm like Marmite, man. Like, people either love me or they hate me. Like, it's.
I've never had Marmite. It's like salty, right?
Super salty, yeah.
I found a video of that streamer I was talking about. He did a just a talk. Like a trailer for March of the Penguins. I'm sitting there pissing myself. I've never seen it before. I'll put it in the Twitch chat if anyone wants to watch it.
Do.
What?
Listening to the March of the Penguins thing.
Oh.
There should be like an audio thing where you should be able to submit it to. We have an application section in our Discord. Submit it there, I suppose, yeah. I'm pretty sure we have like some sort of huge application process.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
Hmm? What is this 3D's middle name? 3D model's name. Oh. Yeah, it's Mervon. That's the pronunciation. The pronunciation. Mervon. Mervon. This character's name is Mervon.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna stop being a distraction now. I'll let you get on with some work, and I'll see you later.
And you're never a distraction. You shut your face, bro.
You shut your face, bro.
You shut your mouth.
Fucking weapon.
Yeah, you fucking weapon.
Alright, have a good night, guys.
Yeah, catch you later, buddy.
Bye.
Good night.
Baker, guess what?
What's up, man?
We got like 30 minutes left in the stream, bro.
Bruh?
Bro.
Like, bruh? Like what, bruh? Yeah, that's cool.
Like for serious?
Like for realsy?
Yeah. Cha.
Like, no way.
Like, yes, what?
Like, way?
What? So like maybe after the stream we can go out to like the beach and get it some tasty curls, man. Like
Yeah, man.
hit up a gnarly wave, you know? Bro.
I could totally dig that, dude.
You can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Bro. Chat's like confused now.
Dig some sweet waves, bro.
Bro, I'm totally down.
You wanna come smoke some beer?
Smoke some beer. Yeah, I'm down.
smoke some beer. Still one of the funniest videos I've ever fucking seen, man. Yo, Xander, you want to smoke some beer? No, we're not smoking beer, dude. You don't smoke beer. You don't smoke. It's hops, dude. You use hops to make beer.
You don't smoke beer, bro. You snort it.
Yeah, bro.
Like, what if we're dwarves, but we don't call ourselves dwarves?
Yeah, bro.
What if we're just really tall dwarves? Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa! You're blowing my mind. I could like totally fit in California, man.
Bro.
Like for real.
Good thing. Well, just have to say bro after every sentence.
Yeah, bro.
All the people watching from California.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, dude. Dude, bro. Yeah, dude.
Come
on, bro.
I stand ready. Lee. Hey, Bun.
Hey, man.
You would melt in Cali, let's be honest. I'm in Discord.
I've been to Cali before, man. Like, it's fine. As long as I don't go, like, too far south of, like, San Diego, I think I'll be fine. Actually,
he's in Discord.
Oh, is he? Okay. Well, like, he's muted, so unmute himself and he can talk, can't he? Yeah, there you go. No, there was, like, I distinctly remember this one weather report when I was out in San Francisco, and they're like, so the weather in San Francisco this week is gonna be like blah blah blah. Down in LA, it's gonna be like really really hot, and then and then they got to San Diego, and they're just like, so you know, like the next 3-4 months, San Diego, it's just gonna be nice. It's gonna be really nice. Just nice weather for the next 4 months. It's like they didn't even bother giving numbers. They're just like, yeah, it's just gonna be really nice.
No, you're allowed. We're in the general chat. You're good, Bun.
Yeah, man.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, see ya, Roman.
Bun is from an area of the UK where we all talk super weird, and I'm allowed to say that because I'm from that area as well. We are where the pirate accent originated from.
To be fair though, like, a lot of people when they hear me, they're like, "Oh, you sound really posh." I'm like, if you knew where I was from.
I don't think anyone has ever said anyone with a Bristolian accent sounds posh.
I don't have a Bristolian accent.
I suppose you have a Bath accent, but it's close enough, you know. Like for people, well, like I guess people from Bristol probably think that you sound posh. People from anywhere outside of Somerset just think you sound fucking trash.
Alright, wee babber.
Yeah, you alright, my lover.
How about you hop on my combine harvester?
Hey, get a load of this. We're going scrumping, pa.
I'm sorry, can you give me the dictionary definition of scrumping?
It means you're gonna go drink some cider.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, doesn't it mean to make cider? Like scrumping is part of making cider,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It's
Yeah.
basically like you crush apples like in an apple press, and yeah, it's just like anything to do with cider really is scrumping.
Oh, okay. So it's like when people from Missouri talk about going to drink a pop.
A what?
A pop. I'm sorry, soda.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
You mean a carbonated drink?
Yes.
Sorry, I got confused.
Tonic juice, you know?
Tonic juice?
Wow, I gotta come to your house. Tonic juice?
The fuck is a tonic juice?
We don't say pop in Missouri.
No, it's tonic juice, man.
Tonic juice.
Put two words together. That's that.
Oh, I'm
made my night.
Yeah, I'm down for tonic juice. That's amazing.
What is it? Probably Mississippi that says pop.
MISSISSIPPY. No, it's an I. It's an I at the end. Oh, I made myself sound bad.
Mississippi.
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 How you doing tonight, Bun?
Yeah, no, just finished playing some Fortnite with some friends.
Oh yeah.
You disgust me.
Yeah. What?
Fortnite is the
What should I have been playing?
Fortnite is the devil's game, man.
We're going.
Yeah, I'm sorry you don't approve. Next time I'll get your permission.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. I'll ask you. Sorry, Dad.
That'd be such a weird parent thing to do. Like, you know, you can play games, but you have to play the game I tell you to play.
Yeah.
Dad, what do you know about any game?
My dad wouldn't even know how to turn a computer on.
Really? That bad?
Oh, mate, it's shocking. Do you know what? We actually, in order to like get him like used to technology, right? So we got an iPad, right? Honest, this is the honest thing, right? Honest to God, the man could not use a mobile phone, right? So I said to my brother, I was like, "Look, I got a plan. We're gonna get him an iPad, and then he'll get used to what buttons to press to like do stuff and whatnot.
No.
And then we'll get him an iPhone. Yeah, genuinely. So he can only use an iPhone.
No.
Yep. Yep, and he can only use an iPad, and that is his only access to the internet. That's the only way he can do it.
Good lord.
It's hilarious, mate.
How did your mum put up with that?
Well, like, they don't, like, our parents don't use the internet like we use the internet.
Oh, that's true, I suppose, yeah.
Do you know what bugs me as well, Lee? Is they've still got a 350 megabyte connection.
Oh, fuck off. Mate, I would kill for that connection.
I know, right? I know, right? It's so painful. I miss it so much. The one thing I miss about living at home is that internet connection, I can tell you.
I remember when you first got that. I think we'd just switched over to the Old Republic. I think we'd just switched over to that, and you were like, and we're waiting for like the pre-release downloads and everything. You're like, yeah, I got mine done, and I'm like, I've still got 4 days left on mine, mate.
Oh, mate, it's just so not like now I've got to wait like an hour to download a game. Like it was like, you know, 5 minutes and it was done back at home.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's rough, man.
You've missed Joe. Joe's gone for the night now. But if you ever want to talk about bad internet connections, man, you talk to Joe. Like his like the house that he was living at before he moved to France. It was basically like in the middle of fucking nowhere, in the middle of a bunch of fields, surrounded by farms, and like it genuinely felt like the data packets were being brought in by the cows. It was just like genuinely horrific.
Well, on the upside, by 2022 we'll all have 500 meg connections anyway.
That'd be fucking nice, wouldn't it?
Well,
you say by 2022. I don't think that's going to be the case.
Well, I don't think BT can get the engineers they need, to be quite honest with you.
Nope.
Was it like 35,000 engineers they needed to recruit?
Oh, it's fucking ridiculous, man.
Just like, not even going to get close, are they?
Nope. Not
Mate,
even.
It's a hamster in England on a wheel.
Yeah, that's what does the internet in England. The hamster on a fucking wheel.
every cow, mate. That's luxury tax right there.
Yeah. Every now and again they have to fucking replace the hamster. You know, like, you wonder why your internet's gone down. Fucking hamsters died.
No. Oh.
Fell off his wheel, like.
Yeah, he's fucking gone.
He's
gone.
Mike the hamster, come on, crack on. Next one.
Poor fuckers. That's the thing, man. Like the people at work are like, oh yeah, you know, connection's really slow today at work. And I'm like, what do you mean connection's really slow? It's like, oh, I'm only getting like 200 meg. I'm like, you literally just fuck off. Because a whole bunch of my work colleagues are based in Sweden, where everyone's got like fucking gigabit connections and stuff.
Don't play with a guy. Like, actually, I've just been playing Fortnite with him. Like, his internet connection is just like, it's just stupid, man.
It's like lightning, isn't it?
Oh, I think I want to say it's like 1.2 gigs he's getting.
And the whole thing is basically like at some point in the 70s, BT literally went, the internet is never going to be a thing. Let's just stick with our standard copper cables. And everyone else in the world was going, no, fiber optic, because the internet's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Feed your cow, your internet is slowing down.
Lee White Pulse asks, are there going to be visible pistons?
Pistons.
Probably not. I can't be bothered to model them.
That's slack.
Shut the fuck
I'll
up,
get
man.
you pistons, White Pulse. I'll get you pistons. Merv, IRL. You would not be doing him justice.
Yeah, pistons.
I'll lay it on thick, bro.
Oh, don't be that guy, please. Please don't be like that.
Look, I am here to serve the people.
He said he had pistons IRL.
I swear to God, man.
He walked around with pistons, man.
Curran's just sat here hoping the game makes it big so he can shoo his way in as a fucking CM or something. Serve the people, mate. You barely serve yourself breakfast.
Oh.
Now I got a wife to do that.
Oh.
I think I've only ever spoken to her once, but that was enough for me to know that she'd kick your ass for saying that.
I think she's fallen asleep on the sofa downstairs.
He sounded so insecure.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm looking around.
I think I'm alright.
Yeah, I reckon it's alright. Actually, I better go wake her up because she's actually gonna have to go put the rabbits to bed.
Oh, you got rabbits!
Did you not know that?
No, mate.
I'll I'll put some photos in Discord for you.
Oh, fucking hell. Is this your like?
This is my excuse not to have children.
Yeah. mate, fucking the other night, right? I'm working away. Text message from Suzanne upstairs, and she's gone, there's a weird noise coming from the garden. I need you to go check it out, right? So I come upstairs. I'm like, what do you mean there's a weird noise in the garden? She's like, listen, I think there's someone in the garden. And I listen from the window. I go, that's not someone. That's hedgehogs. There's hedgehogs fucking in the garden. So I went downstairs, went downstairs, opened the back door, got a flashlight, shone it into like where I thought they'd be. Sure enough, two fucking fat hedgehogs just having a right go at each other.
Mate,
Noisiest little fuckers, I tell you.
Nah, ducks. That is violent. I'll tell you the story about the ducks when I get back.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, that everyone, we're gonna hear a story about some ducks fucking.
I mean, there's a video about that already.
Oh, why you gotta ruin my
Ducks
fun,
are
man?
terrible. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? There's no fun ruined here. For 15 minutes.
Yeah, get your last questions in, guys, if you got any. If you don't got any, like, I mean, that's on you, so.
Please get them in. Go, 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 go. Counting down minutes, seconds, and nanoseconds.
Right, I'm back.
Welcome back, mate.
Oh,
That is a new upgrade I have been outfitted with. Keeping track of time is something that I'm good at now.
Cool, man.
Beep boop.
Beep boop.
What game is this for? This is for our new Z-Axis third-person MOBA called Project Phoenix Rising. Blah, blah, blah. Hopefully you enjoy what you see. And want to play our game when it's finished.
That was so full of enthusiasm. Like, I just found new drive and focus to work on the project some more.
I'm glad I could do that for you.
Omega, you would make probably the best cheerleader. Just.
oh, you want the duck story?
Yeah, ducks. Give us ducks, man.
So, I'll give you the duck story. So, probably a couple of years ago now, my nephew come down from Leeds to visit with my sister-in-law. And we took him to the park with a dog, play some ball. And ducktails, love it. And these ducks are sort of, they're, well, I thought they were attacking this other duck, right? I didn't even realise this is how ducks did things, because I'd never seen ducks do things like this.
Oh yeah, man, ducks are full on rapey, aren't they?
Rapey ain't the word for it, mate. So, my sister-in-law and Alex, my wife, they're in stitches. And my nephew stood with me, he's nearly in tears. I'm like covering his eyes. I'm like, you don't need to see that. And then I realised what they're doing, and it's like 10 ducks on one. Gangbang doesn't even cover it.
Savage. Nature don't care, man. Nature don't play around, does it?
No, man, it's rough.
I mean, we don't king shame, but man, that just doesn't seem healthy.
You need a safe word at least.
It's quack.
Fucking, quack, fucking quack, fucking quack.
DuckTales, woo.
Have you ever heard the Finnish version of the DuckTales song?
Which version?
The Finnish version, as in from Finland.
I mean, there's a reboot. Oh no, there's reboots. So I was wondering which one.
So in particular, there's a YouTube video where someone has basically gone like, I'm just going to write the English words that the Finnish words sound like, not like the actual translations or anything, like what they actually sound like.
Yeah.
And it's actually glorious.
Hello.
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 I just got the text. Apparently people want to see what I've been working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can send some of that stuff. Just give me a sec.
It's okay. I mean, we need to collate stuff for our next art update anyway, so I'd probably just put it in the art channels rather than do it in like on stream for now.
It's true.
We got to have something in the art updates that people haven't seen before. No?
What was I doing?
Okay. So yeah, so I've been building on the right hand side. This is like the control mesh kind of thing, and on the left here is like what the high poly version looks like. So coming along, it's gonna look neat, I think, when it's fully done.
This looks like Torbjorn. I'm not gonna lie.
Doesn't look anything like Torbjorn, man. Torbjorn can suck a dick.
You saying all dwarves look alike?
Yeah, you saying all
Wow.
dwarves look the same, man? It's fucking dwarfish, man.
Racist.
Yeah, it's fucking racist.
Racist.
Filthy racist.
Uh-huh.
Fucking racist.
Or should I say he looks like Gimli. Only more a high-tech version of Gimli.
I mean, I'm cool with that because Gimli was badass.
Oh yeah. Not my beard!
He's a fucking amazing sprinter as well.
We dwarves, we're amazing sprinters, but long distance.
Is it, man?
I finished watching Lord of the Rings 3 nights ago.
That movie hasn't aged a bit. Like, it's still amazing to this day.
Oh yeah, the original, the Lord of the Rings films are great. Hobbit films look fucking atrocious
compared to the Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, it's like night and day. Actually scary.
Yeah. It just shows like how brilliant that story really was.
No, it's not. It's not got nothing to do with the story. It's all about production. Because The Hobbit as a story is a fantastic story.
In my opinion, the best book out of the lot.
Yeah, it's fucking great, absolutely brilliant. But it just wasn't handled very well for the film.
My favorite part, probably, of Lord of the Rings is whatchamacallit? I just forgot my train of thought. Is probably the music. The music is amazing.
Oh yeah. Right, so I've just saved it, so I'm gonna call it here, and then next stream I'll work on the backpack some more. Hopefully get it to like an actual finished high poly stage, and then I can basically just start like tidying everything up, make sure he's got like a nice helmet and thick goggles. Thick goggles, yeah. Yeah. Thanks everyone for coming along. Hope you all had a good evening. And
did Lee, before we go, Nerd Deathmatch asked where would be a good place to start to become a 3D artist?
That is way too long a subject for me to get into right now. I've actually covered it a lot on a bunch of other streams as well, but like I started out just modding stuff, like finding games and modding them, and you can too. Like, you know, Unreal Engine is completely free, Blender is completely free, like you don't have to pay for anything to learn how to do this. Literally just like find some tutorials on YouTube. Like, that's the thing, like, none of this shit existed when I started out, so my path to being a 3D modeler is very different to what everyone else's would be nowadays. Yeah. So yeah, have a great evening, everyone. Thank you to got a couple of new subscribers. Apo1984 for subscribing for the 4th month in a row. That's sick. It's awesome. And yeah, we'll see you on Monday. Have a good evening, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.